thank you guys so much for all the love I've been seeing on my videos. You guys are the best. We literally are almost at 1,000. I honestly could never fathom that. I literally thought my goal for this year would be to get like 50 subscribers. So the fact that I can't do math. I think I got a lot more than that. So thank you guys so much. And I'm going to do I don't know if I should do like a 100 triggers video, or just comment down below what I should do for my 1,000 celebration when we hit 1K. So it's a really big deal for me. Thank you guys. And also number 2, not as big of a deal, but the lighting isn't the best. I'm sorry. These strobes sometimes on camera, they don't do it in real life, so I'm not sure why. But I decided to do like a low light, less like crisp, bright on me. Not necessary. So without further ado, let's get on into the reading triggers. I'll show you guys some of the books or some of the things I brought to read. I brought 3 items. Number 1, I brought my 365 days of prayer routines. It's a Christian thing. However, I didn't just bring Bible books, don't worry. I know some people aren't into that stuff, but I brought this because it has a really nice leather cover and pages. Sound really nice. So I figured I would use this. And then a non-Bible related item. I think I brought the second book in the Hunger Games series. It's Catching Fire. I was trying to see if it was the second or the third, but I finished the first one, so I'm reading this one. It makes nice sounds. And then I brought these cards. These they are scripture verses on them, but I like the sounds they made. So they have like little scriptures on them you can color, but they make a nice sound. So let's get on into the video. 365 days of prayer routines. Today, when I'm filming this, it is March 4th. Let's find that. April, March. A place for me. A place for me. There are many rooms in my Father's house. I would not tell you this if this was not true. I am going there to prepare a place for you. John 14:2. That, Lord, I know that everything you put your hand to reflects your character. You are always welcoming and open. Thank you for building a house that mirrors who you are. A house with many rooms that will always let me in. I know I never need to be restless or worried because I know where I will live forever. That place is with you in heaven. Your word tells me the truth. Father, thank you that you not only provide a place for me, but you prepare it specifically for me. rising in my heart as I know where I belong forever. I belong with you. With you. In your eternal kingdom, I can feel your perfect peace falling over me. Do you believe there is a place for you in God's eternal kingdom? So this verse was just mainly talking about the place that you have in heaven. So you have your own room or whatever the case may be, I don't know, but you have your own space designed for you by God because God created you uniquely and fantastically. So that is that portion. And then I'm gonna go religious, non-religious, religious. So, now, Catching Fire. The Hunger Games, Catching Fire by Susan Collins. I'm honestly really excited. I haven't started reading this yet. I don't really know what it's like. I feel like this is the second book, but I could be wrong. May the odds be ever in your favor. Sparks are igniting, flames are spreading, and the capital wants revenge. Against all odds, Katniss and fellow District 12 tribute Peeta Clark are miraculously still alive. Katniss should be relieved, happy even after all she has returned to her family and her longtime friend Gale. Yet nothing is the same. Gale holds her at an icy distance. Peeta has turned his back on her completely, and there are whispers of a rebellion against the capital, a rebellion that Katniss and Peeta may have helped create. As time draws near for Katniss and Peeta to visit the districts on the capital's cruel victory tour, the stakes are higher than ever. If they can't prove without a shadow of a doubt that they are lost in their love for each other, the consequences will be horrifying. Okay, that sounds really good. For my parents, Jane and Michael Collins, and my parents-in-law, Dixie and Charles Pryor. Part 1. This part. I clasp the flask between my hands, even though the warmth from the tea has long since leaned into the frozen air. My muscles are clenched and tight against the cold. If a pack of wild dogs were to appear at this moment, the odds of scaling a tree before they attacked are not in my favor. I should get up, move around, and work the stiffness out of my limbs, but instead I sit down, as motionless as the rock beneath me. While the dawn begins to lighten the woods, I can't find the sun. I can only watch helplessly as it drags me into a day that I have been dreading for months. By noon they will appear, all at my house, in the victor's village, the reporters, the camera crews, even Ivy Trinket, my old escort, will have to make their way to District 12 from the capital. I wonder if Ivy will still be wearing that silky pink wig. Or if she'll be sporting some other unnatural color, especially for the victory tour. There will be others waiting, to a staff caterer to my every need on the long train trip, a prep team to beautify me for public appearance, my stylist and friend Zena, who designed the gorgeous outfits that first made the audience take notice for me in the Hunger Games. If it were up to me, I would try to forget the Hunger Games entirely, never speak of them, pretend they were nothing but a bad dream, but the victory tour makes that impossible. Strategically placed almost midway from the annual games, it's the capital's way I am one of the stars of the show. I will have to travel from district to district to stand before the cheering crowds who secretly loathe me, to look down at the faces of the families whose children I have killed. The sun persists in rising, so I make myself stand. All my joints complain that my left leg has been asleep for so long that it takes several minutes of pacing to bring back feeling into it. I've been in the woods for 3 hours, but I've made no real attempt at hunting. I have nothing to show for it. It doesn't matter to my mother and little sister Prim anymore. They can afford to buy butcher meat in town, although none of us like it, and it's better than fresh game. But my best friend Gail Hawthorne and his family will be depending on today's haul, and I can't let them down. I start the hour-and-a-half track it will take to cover up our snare line, but when we're in school, we had time in the afternoons to check the line and hunt and gather, and still come back to train in town. But now that Gail has gone to work in the coal mines, and I have nothing to do all day, I've had to take over the job. By the time Gail will have clocked in at the mines, taken the stomach-churning elevator ride into the depths of the earth, and be pounding away at coal steam, I know what it's like down there. Every year in school, as part of our training, my class has to tour the mines. When I was little, it was just as unpleasant. The claustrophobic tunnels, foul air, suffocating darkness on all sides. But my father and several other miners were killed in an explosion. I could barely force myself onto the elevator. The annual trip became an enormous source of anxiety. Twice, I made myself so sick in anticipation that if my mother kept me home because she thought I had contracted the flu. I think of Gail, who's only really alive in the woods, with the fresh air, the sunlight, the clean flowing water. I don't know how he stands the coal mines. Well, honestly, yes I do. He stands it because it's the way to feed his mother and 2 younger brothers and sisters. And here, I am with buckets of money, far more than enough to feed both of our families right now. But he won't take a single coin. It's even hard for him to bring in his meat. Although he surely have killed my mother and Prim, supplied when I'd be in the games. I tell him he's doing me a favor, that it drives me nuts to sit around all day. Even so, I never drop off the game while he's home, which is easy since he works 12 hours a day. The only time I really get to see Gail now is on Sundays, when we meet up in the woods to hunt together. It's still the